little puppy friend with me today. She's gonna sit with me while I tell my story time video today. So if you see orange fluff at the bottom edge of the screen, that's just her sitting on my lap. So anyways, so being as it's almost Easter time again, I figured it's an appropriate a time as any to retell this story as a Remembering Forgotten Memories story. Although I don't think I could ever forget this damn story as much as I'd like to, as long as I live. It kind of gave me PTSD over these candies, but oh my god. So, Cadbury cream eggs. Most people love them, some people hate them, but most people love them. I used to be amongst those people. I used to look forward to those almost more than anything in with Easter candy. Goodness, that was until... what, 2009, I think, was when this happened, I want to say. I know we were still living in the old house. Yeah, so, got one. Didn't know that it was a bit stale, so if it hadn't have been a little bit stale and a little bit hard, I doubt this would have happened, but saw one, was very excited. I should also mention, these were brand new at the time. I had just gotten my crowns. My dad didn't know much about crowns and had just gone through telling me how your teeth are like Teflon. You can bite into anything now. Pro tip, don't do that. If you get crowns, veneers, or implants on your front teeth, don't fucking do that. You will regret it. And you're going to learn the hard way from my mistake. Because crowns are made of porcelain, not Teflon, not anything hard. Nope, but they're just porcelain. But yeah, all my teeth in the front, they all are. So I have no problem admitting that to you guys. And these two are implants, actually. So that one was totally gone. This one, the root, either died or somehow broke, and I don't really know how. I literally woke up like that one morning, and my dentist was insistent that I must have been punched in the mouth in my sleep, because that sort of break doesn't happen without impact. I'm like, nobody was near me while I was asleep, and I was perfectly fine when I went to bed, so think again. But regardless, this isn't about that, but yeah, those two are implants, and this is going to be important because of the scope of damage that happened thanks to this Cadbury cream egg. So I saw it, and I was excited, and I unwrapped the thing. I went to take a bite, and I'll use my knuckle. We'll pretend it's like and it's just like, this is awfully hard. Generally, they don't take that much pressure to bite into it. Why is it not? Somebody was like, dude, you're gonna break your teeth doing that. And I was like, no, I won't. And no sooner had I said, and I was like, he goes, what the fuck was that? I was like, and I could feel the blood drain from my face. I was like, nothing. I ran into the bathroom. I immediately collapsed on the floor and passed out of sheer and utter panic. It is very rare that I have a panic attack intense enough to make me literally faint. But oh, I fainted on that one. And I don't think I was out for very long, but I picked myself up, remembered what I had done. I still had the thing in my hand, actually. And I went to the mirror. And I took a look. On first inspection, I was like, maybe it was my head. Maybe I imagined it. Let's look real close. And I'm like looking in the mirror, I'm examining it, and all of a sudden I see a hairline up across this one. I was like, oh my god. And then I touched it, and it went, I was like, it's hanging by a thread. And just the spit moving around in my mouth, all of a sudden I went, dink, into my hand. Slow clap. Of all the teeth it could have happened on, had to be one of the implants. And not just one of the implants, but the one that is one of my two front teeth. The most expensive implants you can have in your entire mouth. It was one of those. So I'm just like, oh my god, what'd I do? Am I just going to be without a tooth again in that spot. So I had been without a tooth in that spot since I was about 17 when I first lost that tooth, got busted off down to the nub, and honestly, I just lived with it for a bunch of years until I had a dentist that basically would not take no for an answer and insisted that I have an implant there. But, so I got an implant there. And I'm very glad now that I did, because I used to talk like this to try to keep my lip curled down around it so people wouldn't see it. And it's why there are not many photos of me from about age 17 to... Well, she had a temporary there for a long time before I got the actual implant, but there was absolutely nothing there between about 17 to somewhere in my earlier 20s, 22, 23, somewhere in there. Nothing there. I at least had a temporary across it at that point, which looked awful, but was better than a big old gap. But, so, just saying. But then to have it suddenly gone again when I had finally gotten used to looking like a human with teeth, and teeth that weren't rotting out of my head like my originals before the crowns were, because you do not want to see the disaster zone that was my original teeth. And I have this weird genetic disorder that runs in the females from my mom's side of the family, where just our teeth, the consistency is basically literally that of chalk. Like if you go like this with your nail like barely against it, chunks of tooth will come off. That's why they had to cap all of them. There's only one that's not, and it's got a temporary on, and it's about to be capped. So, yeah, that was real fun to friggin' live with. And back in their day, they just would pull them and give them dentures at a crazy young age. In my case, they wanted to do their best to try and save them for as long as possible. And in my case, eventually, I mean, some of them have busted down to the nubs even with having crowns, especially the ones in the back. Eventually, there will come a day when they have to do either the same to me, or if I have the money for it, get implants for everything. Does not sound fun, but back to the story at hand. So, I'm in the bathroom. Everybody just witnessed what happened. Everybody's waiting for me to come back out there like, so, what'd you do? And I hear him outside the door. I'm just like, nothing! I did nothing! And I'm just like, oh my god. And that is, of course, making me panic more. So I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe should I, like, find a piece of gum and try to, like, ram it back in there temporarily just for now? As if this would work, right? Like, no one's gonna notice this big old wad of gum between the two pieces of teeth. Yeah, no, I obviously didn't actually do this, but the thought crossed my mind for about half a second. I stayed in there so much where it's just like, I have no choice. I have to come out. We only have one bathroom in our house. I can't just live here in the bathroom for the rest of my life. I have to come out, and that's up to what I've done. So I walked out with my hands like this in front of my mouth, very slowly, with my hand, like this, to show the big old piece of crown that came off. And I was like, are you going to kill me? And I was like, I'm not thrilled with you. I was like, oh, great. At least this was like before he lost most of his money to the IRS, so at least he could afford at that point to have it fixed. At this point, if it were to happen, I would just be SOL. So I am very, very anal retentive about how I bite into things now ever since then. I basically don't bite into things with my front teeth, if you notice in videos where I eat. But, yeah, that. So, we called my dentist because we actually had her home phone number, because after some of my procedures, she actually would, like, call our house and check on me, just out of the goodness of her heart, because she was, like, really concerned about how I was doing. So we had her number, and she was like, only you would manage that, but okay, I'll be able to see you Wednesday, because I have the next couple of days off. It'll probably be fine by then. Probably being fine and actually being fine are two entirely different things. Because she forgot I have the wonky immune system that, in some respects, it's basically non-existent and just doesn't work. But in other areas, it, like, overcompensates and overworks itself to the point where it's destructive in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, guess which side of the line this went on. The gum completely grew over the broken off crown by that Wednesday. She had never, ever seen another patient have this happen. She had to laser away the extra gum. That was incredibly painful. I do not recommend it. But, and it left it scorched black for like months afterwards, so it was not cute. And this one still doesn't fit right like the others do. I mean, it's better than not having one there, so whatever. But, yeah, that. But that's not even the worst part of the story. I don't know. No. My friends who I'd been chatting with online leading up to this happening wanted to know where I disappeared to, because they're messaging and I'm not answering. They're like, where'd you go? Did you die? Where'd you go, Jet? I was like, I just broke my fucking tooth on a Cadbury cream egg. They're like, but those are soft. How the fuck? I was like, I think it was stale. And it happened. They're like, Pixar, it didn't happen! So, fine. Took a picture, I put it on MySpace, back in the days of MySpace being a thing. My friends are assholes. They decided to basically turn this into their own meme. And they found pictures of basically all my favorite celebrities I idolize, either with that same tooth actually missing, or with it blacked out from some sort of role, and it just happened to be that same tooth. They had one of Paul McCartney before one of Stella's fashion shows, where he also has a crown there, and he busted his off before that show and didn't have time to have it fixed, so he just went out, owned it, made pirate noises at the paparazzi that night. There's photos of this out there if you dig hard enough for it. They're not cute, but I mean, props to him for having balls enough to do that. I didn't want anyone looking at me, but... So there was that. There was all the pictures of Keith Moon with that same tooth missing. Both real and, like, in Tommy where they, like, blacked one out. It wasn't the actual one. Found pictures of both Judy Garland and Liza Minnelli with that same tooth blacked out for the We're a Couple of Swells routine, where they look like hobos. Oh, who else did they find pictures of that had that same tooth missing? There was like a bunch of them, and I was like, you guys suck. And I was just like, I'm not talking to any of you ever again, which that lasted all of until I had it fixed, and then I got over it. But, oh my god, it was just like, why? And the ones that they couldn't find photos of, they photoshopped and made photos. I was like, I fucking hate you guys. You guys suck. And of course, they had a picture of Cadbury cream egg in the corner of all of them, like a watermark. I was like, I hate you all. Just fuck everything. But to this day, I will not eat a Cadbury cream egg. I think just once to prove that I'm not phobic of them, I like put one behind like my knee and like let it get melty. And then I, like, put it on a plate and unwrapped it and ate it with a fork and knife. Just prove, under the right conditions, I'll eat one, but I will never bite into one ever the hell again. Not after that. I am never reliving that. Ever. Not happening. Not worth it. You want to know what it costs to redo that crown on an implant? $5,000. $5,000 for a freaking crown on a tooth. Which he had already paid once when I first had it done, and then had to pay again when it broke and had to be repaired. He lords it over me to this day that was a thing that happened and how much money he has wasted on my damn mouth. I don't blame him. I would probably do the same in his position, but yeah. Frickin' Cadbury cream eggs, man. Apparently they're my kryptonite. So... Yeah, I've slightly referenced this story several times in my YouTube career, and people have asked me about it, so I decided, screw it, I'm finally telling it as a story time video. You guys are welcome. So, anyways, that is it for this one. As usual, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Leave comments down below. Have you ever done something similar? I know some of you have, because some of you have confided similarly in me. Like, my friend Carrie told me about her Jolly Rancher story, and I have the same tooth chipped down here. Although that was actually on a cookie that one happened. But again, my own stupidity. But that one, I'm like, it's just cosmetic. I can live with that one. I can live with it. But anyways, if any of you guys lived through similar, please let me know in the comments so I feel slightly less alone in my retardation. As well as anything else you feel like leaving me. Make sure you follow my social media accounts. They're all listed down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is in the description. So anyway, guys, till next time. Bye.